Alright, welcome everybody to another session of James and Jay Dissects Fear the Walking Dead. We're continuing our Season 3 dissection here, and we're going to talk about episodes 3, 4, and 5. Sorry for the kind of delay here, and then shows, hey, life gets in the way, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and jump on into this. But before we do, actually, a couple announcements. Our charity is still going on strong. If you guys can donate, please donate down below in the links. If you can't donate, we understand that. That's okay. What we can do to help out is to click on the like, subscribe, share buttons like that. Share with your friends, spread the word. And we can't tell you directly to click on the ads, but what I can tell you is that all revenue from those ads goes directly towards charity. So do with that as you will. Other than that, James, how's it been, man? It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, I got, as you know, I got this tablet issue. It's crap. It's a piece of junk. So I'm gonna have to look into getting something new here. But you know, missed filming, shooting this show that we do here, and you know, it's good to be back, and it's been an okay season so far, man, for Fear the Walking Dead. I'm impressed. They had, you know, a little bit of moments there where you're like, oh, yeah, back to the normal stuff that we didn't like, but they quickly turn it around, man. They give you a couple of good episodes, and you know, they're really impressing me this season. So more to come, I guess. You know.
Yeah, definitely night and day from the beginning of season 1 and the beginning of season 2.
Yes.
Definitely keeps me intrigued to see what's going on with the characters. The group is split, which has room for a couple different storylines to go on, which is exciting. But we'll get into those different storylines as we go through the episodes. But yeah, man. So, what do you think so far? Let's go ahead and jump into episode 3. What do you think about that one?
TEOTWAWKI. Oh, I guess that's the name. That's the name of the episode. So, of course, now this is the aftermath of Travis dying. This is where the group, you know, they are now part of this community, this reservation type place, and you know, they're learning. They're starting to learn the intricate system of this new, you know, reservation or community that they're in. You start to see them build relationships with the residents here. Everybody who's watched it, starting to see them, you know, kind of plot. You know, Madison goes out and says, you know, this is, you know, we're gonna have to, you know, blend in, and then we're gonna have to take over. You know, Alicia builds, you know, has a little bit of, you know, builds a relationship with the other youths of the community. You know, obviously Madison, she's getting to know the leader here, and that's Jeremiah. That's Troy and Jake's father. Obviously, Troy is the psychopath who indirectly got Travis killed. Jake is his brother. So, you know, Madison is trying to, you know, fit in, trying to learn the ins and outs of this community. And then, of course, you have Nicholas, whose his whole focus is on his lover at this point. And, you know, just watching him and how he's taking care of Luciana is really good. But you could, you know, you start to feel for these characters a little bit more because they're diving into it. So this was a filler episode, but they're diving into the Madison, Nicholas, and Alicia characters, and they're showing how these three have all separate agendas here. And the episode was slow, and it made me say, okay, you know, where are we going with the reservation itself? What are we doing with Jeremiah here? What is this place all about? You know, how are they going to tie this into the Fear of the Walking Dead world and give us what they did give us in the backstories of Nicholas, Madison, and Alicia? Not even backstories, but how they are adapting to this changing environment. Mm-hmm. So I guess I had the feelings in this episode that it's, okay, you had a slow episode. You had episode 1 was really great. Episode 2 started off really great and it slowed down a little bit. And then episode 3, again, I liked it because you got to see how they were adapting, but it kind of brought me back to season 7 of The Walking Dead. I think The Walking Dead has, I have to get over feelings from season 7 of The Walking Dead, because it's almost like it ruins it for Fear of the Walking Dead, because we went through 13 out of 16 episodes of discussing character development, and I think that at this point we know who Madison is, we know who Alicia is, and we know who Nick is. So we did get a little bit here of Jake and a little bit there of Troy, and obviously Jeremiah and some of the residents of the community, and they had a little fun moment there where Alicia got high and she talked to the other youth of the community. But it was almost like, was this episode needed? So, it brought you back to season 1, and it just brought you back to that lulling feeling that, okay, now we're slowing it down again, and that's not what this show needs. The show needs a pick-me-up. But all in all, I understood why they had the episode the way it was. They are in a new community. They do have to learn the ins and outs of it. But, it just, like I said, it felt like something was missing the whole episode. And, you can't like every episode. But this was the, of the first 5, I would say this is the weakest one. And I mean, it's not that it's terrible. It's just the way they're hitting you with these episodes, and then giving you kind of like, it's almost like, the sign that says new and improved, even though it can't be new and it's something that's hitting you with, this is the direction we're going with the show, and it was a good breath of fresh air for us. I think this episode took me back to season 1 and part of season 2, like, oh boy. But again, that's, I'm corrupted by season 7 of The Walking Dead, so it's just like, I have to get over that hump, I guess you could say.
Yeah, there wasn't really a driven purpose, I guess, in this episode. It was just, like you said, there's a lot of groundwork.
Yes.
Paving the way. There was no real arc or conclusion to anything. It's just, this is where they are now. How are these 3 characters going to adapt? Each one's kind of handling it differently. Nick's going to be, driven closer to Luciana. Alicia is going to start acting her age, maybe. It's tough sometimes, like with the characters. Like, she doesn't look like she's 16, 17, how old she's supposed to be in the show.
Well, I hope she's over 18, because she's sleeping with adults here. Yeah. I don't know. Obviously, law isn't the way it should be in an apocalypse, but you're kind of portraying this to viewers here. So I think Jake is a little bit older than 18 there, but
yeah, okay.
Hey.
Yeah, that's questionable. I mean,
he was just in high school, man.
She was
just a high school
senior. I mean, I think in some states, I'm not sure. Like you said, the law doesn't really apply anymore. So 17,
yeah, nobody
18,
cares.
Whatever. Yeah. But then again, maybe Madison would be like, you just had sex with my young daughter, I'm going to kill you now.
Yeah.
Because there's no law. So I'll go ahead and do that.
And this, and we'll get more into Alicia's character as we get, when we get to episode 5. You kind of see where this is going. But, Jay shares the same sentiments that I do, and it's just, I think when you have 2 very good episodes, a really good action-packed episode 1, and then you combine that with a filler episode and made it a double episode, it was almost like that was the episode to set the groundwork to me. Mm-hmm. I think that this one, it pushed this a little bit further, but again, it's only when you have a show like this, I think I think the audience doesn't want to see that, and a lot of the audience from Walking Dead are, you know, trickling over to watch Fear the Walking Dead, and I think that we just have a bad taste in our mouths from seeing so many episodes just drawing things out. So I think it personally took away from it. You know, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I think it personally took away from this because I think that they could have set the groundwork in a different way, but it was okay because they followed it up with probably one of my favorite episodes in both Fear of the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead. And I got a lot of complaints that, oh, it was all in Spanish. How did you know what they were saying? And I was like, you know, they're not going to put the damn episode in Spanish without subtitles. I mean, I've watched several thousand, kung fu movies. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I can actually read the subtitles and still watch the episode. They're not just going to give you an episode all in Spanish and not have subtitles. I mean, if people weren't able, and then somebody said, you know, reading subtitles was annoying. Really? Yeah, this was a brilliant episode. It had, you know, Daniel Salazar came back here, and he was my favorite character in season 1, and I was wrong because I thought that it was going to be a flashback. I thought the guy died. I thought he was going to be like a ghost. He did not die. They played that off good. It showed you that this guy is a survivor, man, and he's got luck on his side. I mean, my wife said, when he was, you know, giving himself up to the super mutant zombie thing, and then this is a Jossam moment, and those of you who don't watch, this is a Jay's Oceanside moment. This is something that was thrown into the show that, you know, it didn't have to be thrown in. But when he's giving up and he's submitting, you know, himself to this giant walker, you know, lightning strikes, and it's almost like gives him a second chance, and it's just, you know, the world telling him it's not his time to die at this moment. Mm-hmm. And he just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And artistically, this was one of those episodes that you thought Scott Gimple wrote, because it was so well written and it was just so complete. And they laid the groundwork for Daniel, but they did it in such a creative way, and they introduced new characters, and they did that in a creative way, and they brought Daniel back to being the torturer, to being that agent that he was. And I think they knocked it dead here. I mean, he was saved by a lot of biblical things here, a lot of poetry, and the episode 4 and 5, there's a lot of poetry, a lot of biblical things here. But you know, him being saved, him looking that, you know, the person that saved him, you know, has a time system where he goes and he retrieves water for those who needs it. He learns that water is being, somebody's governing the water, and killing people who steal the water. Yeah. And it just created this realistic feeling to the show finally. And I think that's what the show was meant to be from the beginning, was a realistic sense. I mean, I think that it really just harped on, you know, the human side of people and what you really have to do to survive. I mean, these people had to time water being turned on to come out of a water fountain to drink, you know, so it was like they're surviving on, you know, just hoping they can get to this water fountain on time, hoping they're not, you know, sought after because of it. And they saved Daniel Salazar, and that ended up saving their lives in the end. And I think this episode all around was good. I mean, when they find out that he is, you know, the soldier that he was, Soldier Salazar and Sergeant Salazar, and the guy, you know, when the guy pokes his food and Daniel beats him up a little bit there, yeah. And Dante tells him, hey, look, you don't know who the hell you're messing with. Yeah. And it's revealed that he was this sergeant and the torturer that he was, you know. And then we had one question was, why did Salazar turn in the guy? Well, it's simple. It's the greater good here. You turn in the guy, and you don't lead Dante's men to the water fountain. So you turn in the man. You know you can replace that man with another person to deliver and distribute that water. So Salazar was thinking on his feet here. Hey, look, you have to sacrifice yourself here. You know, this is what you have to do. I have to do this. If you get figured out, and they find out this water fountain thing, the whole thing goes, they'll destroy the water fountain, nobody gets water, more people die. Yeah. And then they said, then why did the girl get mad at Daniel Salazar? Because she was close to this man, and she was helping this man provide water for other people. And Salazar told her, if you go and you open your mouth, you're going to die, he's going to die, and nobody's going to get water. Mm-hmm. You know, because you're not going to be able to filtrate it. He's obviously not going to be able to get it, and they're eventually going to find this fountain. So at the end of the episode, he had no choice at this point. He had no choice but to kill Dante and his men and take over that water. And the way he did it was just, it was just so epical. It was just like, wow, this is an awesome episode all the way around. You had walkers, you had Salazar in it, you had him killing Dante and taking over the water. You had a heroic moment at the end. It was everything you wanted. This was the best episode in the series by far. The whole 3 seasons, this episode was better than every episode that they showed, and that includes, you know, when Travis died. This episode was so awesome that if they can continue to knock episodes out like this without, you know, Scott Gimple writing them, it will draw more viewers in, and you know, you can't not give it credit because it was complete.
Yeah, and you gotta give credit to Ruben Blades, you know, the actor who plays Daniel Salazar as pulling this whole thing together. And I love the Spanish. You know, I do too.
I think that was brilliant.
It, you know,
how creative is that? You know,
they're in Mexico.
Thank you.
These people speak Spanish. It would be like, why are they speaking English to each other?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when somebody asked me that question, I love the person to death. I think that they're great, but I was just like, you know, seriously. I mean, when you're in, you know, Mexico or South America or anywhere like that. I mean, if you're in Tokyo, Japan, I mean, I don't expect people to start speaking French. You know, I think that this matches where they are and the demographics. And I think them showing you this is a different part of the world. It's just so different. It's such a different animal when you have people speaking Spanish, and it just shows you how this Walker virus has affected everybody in the world. It's not just Georgia; it's everywhere. And people, there's different people and different demographics. So obviously, you're gonna, you know, and it could open up to them being in a different place, like maybe a Tokyo, maybe a Paris. It may show you the different cultures and how they handle this apocalypse. So I agree with Jay. I love the Spanish. I loved it, and you know, again, it's my favorite episode. I've watched it several times. Just watch it over and over again, and had a feel-good moment at the end. And obviously, it's setting us up for another great episode. So they hit you with back-to-back great episodes, and you know, you can't ask for much more from a show that was so poor in the first season and a half. It's really turned around, and even in this season, you had two really good episodes. Kind of went back to his, you know, to their basics there, and then all of a sudden, they hit you with 2 more good episodes. So, let Jay. What did you like other than the Spanish in this episode, Jay? Before we get on to burning in water, drowning in flame.
I just like Salazar's character. You know, where you get to see who he was in the past.
Yes.
You know, you can kind of see, like, wow, this guy, you know, going back to the first season where he was torturing the soldier, but, you know, he gets his opportunity to torture again. You know, and he does have a strange bad good, you know, conundrum there. It's not black and white, you know, for this guy. He understands it. You know, he made up his mind. It's, like you said, he saw the fountain. Hey, I need to distract these guys. All right, here's this guy over here. Let's get him. You know, you got to keep him busy. You can't just be like, hey, I think I saw something, and distract them for a few seconds. They're going to come back, and they'll notice that the fountain is
at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or it's running. So they had to get him away from there.
And what a great callback that they had when he burned in the fire, and his clothing. This was an Easter egg here. A lot of people missed it. His clothing was burnt into his skin, grafted into his skin, and the lady had to skin his leg. So it was almost like he skinned the soldier's arm. So it was almost like, hey, look, I know you can survive this, even though they're saying you might not survive it. He just had to take it like a champ. Remember, he did that to the soldier in season 1. Mm-hmm. He skinned him. So it was almost like, everything that goes around comes around. So it came back to him. But this is just, these people are doing exactly what the survivors in the Walking Dead show are doing. They're shedding their past lives and they're living a new life. They have some elements from the past, but they are also, are shedding that life and, being baptized into this new world. And it was further pointed out in episode 5. I mean, burning in water, drowning in flame. It started off great. I mean, the 2 old people, you see that the woman, she took her teeth out. That's creative. You can't gum somebody to death. Mm-hmm. So obviously the old man thought that he was infected at that point. Killed himself, killed his wife. The house burned down. That was the drowning in flame part. So it was like that ended that chapter of those people, and it almost opened up a new chapter in Nick's mind. This could be starting fresh for me and Luciana. So it's like, it burnt away, the thoughts that we've had about this place. We can make it work. And you see Nicholas still trying to, create a new home for him and his lover here, and doing everything he can, including starting from ashes to build something for him and Luciana, to convince her to stay.
No, that's a complete 180 for his character there. I mean, going back from the first episode.
Correct.
To now.
Yeah, and again, shedding his skin, and I love how they continue with this concept of this in both shows. And Jay's absolutely right. Look at the first episode, and look at Nicholas in that first episode, and look at him now, so, and look at what he did in the first episode with his lover, and look what he did with his lover now. It's almost like, instead of running away, he now is, what I'm saying? It's a different monster for him. And then you have the relationship with Jake and Alicia. This was a controversial relationship because I think Alicia was about 16 and Jake was 37. So
yeah, right.
No, it wasn't that much of a discrepancy, but she is lost, and she shows that she's lost. And hate to tie in suicide in this moment, but she is contemplating, you get a little bit of an Andrea sense from her where she thinks there's no hope here. Mm-hmm. Travis just died, the old people died, she doesn't know if they're going to survive or not. They don't know.
When Nick brings up, or when they talk about the poems, and she's like, there's no like passion in life anymore. There's no purpose for that. It's just survival. Basically, we're just animals now, is trying to, stay alive.
Yep. Until they expire. And when you start to feel like that, and you start to realize there's no hope, there's no end to what they're living in, you're going to give up. And goes back to people that are depressed, and what the charity that we're doing is suicide prevention. Just imagine people in the apocalypse when you've lost so many of your loved ones, you lost your home, you've lost your way. And Alicia is at that point. She's depressed. She's suicidal at this point. She gets high. She sees that people have a decapitated Walker. She sees that it's just a head. And even though she's getting high and having fun, it's a realization for her where it's like, wow, is this what I have to look forward to?
That conversation there almost reminded me of Rick's group in Alexandria, where she's down there with the kids, and they're like, did you have to do stuff out there? And then she talks about how she killed a man and how it was easy. Yep. And then they're just like, wow, we just walked on over here and they had everything ready for us.
Yeah.
Like they don't fully understand what it's like out there.
Correct. And Alicia, you're absolutely right. It just, they have that raw survival nature about them. They have they know what it's like to have to kill a living human being. They know what it's like to almost be killed by living human beings. They know what it's like to survive, flesh-eating walkers. They know what it's like to live on the sea and people are trying to steal from them. They know what it's like when they see a family. And again, this show actually ties into the charity a lot, because you go back to the family that the man wanted to commit suicide with his family because there's no hope. And when you get to these points, and if this is real life, this is what will happen on a mass scale. It's just, what do you have to live for? And I think Alicia was at the crossroads here, and
look at the bride's mother there in the hotel.
Correct. She just gave up.
Yep. Like, thanks,
she
Strand. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm done. And I think that this part of the show is diving into something The Walking Dead really didn't get into. I mean, with the exception of Jackie dying, committing suicide, and Jenner. They really haven't gotten into people committing suicide. Maybe a walker here and there is hanging, but people really aren't committing suicide too much in The Walking Dead. But Fear the Walking Dead, you're getting that sense that the end is near and is over. So it's like, you have all the people when they went to go find Strand's lovers, where the community he was in, and they had the mass suicide at the church. Suicide is being played in a big way in Fear the Walking Dead. I mean, it's like these people's religion, South Americans, they, maybe their religion is telling them, hey, look, there's a reason to kill yourself so you won't, look at the leader of the community that Nick was part of. He killed himself, he sacrificed himself. Mm-hmm. So you have people righteously dying, and then you have people dying because there's no hope, and you have people right on the brink. Even Travis, he killed himself for the greater good. He wasn't dead yet, but he knew that there was a chance that he was going to die in that helicopter and turn, and he didn't want to put anybody at risk. So you know what he did? He just jumped out of the plane. He fell out of the plane. Yeah. So you have this, and this is an ongoing thing here. And Alicia now has been bitten by this there's no hope bug, and she got a little bit of sexual action there, and then she's still depressed. So
yeah, that kind of reminded me of Rosita, where it's like, sure. Let me see if I feel something.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you got pretty eyes.
Yeah.
That's all.
But I love this episode, and then Madison, they walk into the Native Americans, and then you also have, now you get into, Jeremiah possibly using racial intentions against those that he's, against those who probably had the reservations before, his thoughts on Mexicans, his thoughts on Native Americans. Yeah. This kind of stuff would happen in the apocalypse. When you have a group that is so, segregated against, or a group that is discriminated against, or you've stolen from this group and you've held this group back. If you have groups like that, little factions like that, little groups or cultures, or you have like people like the Native Americans who this was their land originally, and then they had it stolen from them. They will start to uprise because there's nothing holding them back anymore. Why not? Yeah. What do you have to lose?
It's no law. Army's not going to come in or anything and tell you guys to move off your land.
Exactly. It's the law of the land now, and they're using that to their advantage. Are they the bad guys? And that was another question somebody has. Oh, these are new villains. Are they really villains? Jeremiah,
a good guy.
Exactly. Why is he in a reservation? So it's obvious that you have Native Americans not in the reservation, and you have the white people in the reservation. So it's like, what's going on here? Are the Native Americans really bad guys? Oh, they killed Travis. Well, Travis was in a plane from the people that were part of that reservation. He couldn't see at night who was in the helicopter, so.
Yeah. I mean, look at the people, they shot up Luciana's group down there at the border. There's kids and women all in between them.
Yeah,
You know?
and look at how Troy treated them. Look at how Troy treated them when he captured them. They were Mexicans to him. He didn't care. You know, they were fodder. So it was just like, let's experiment on these people because they're not worth anything. And when Travis said, I'm Maui, you know, he's like, oh, you're not Mexican. They automatically assumed he was Mexican. They stereotyped him there.
Yep.
You're starting to get the feeling that they think of, you know, South Americans and Native Americans as non-essential people. So it's going to bite you in the ass here.
Yeah, and you know, you can ask like, well, how could someone join up with Negan? But look at these main characters; they're joining up with these people.
Yep.
You know, because survival—that's number one rule. That's what you need to do.
Yep. And then, you know, and it all goes back to, you know, the survival instinct, the instinct to continue, to find something to build upon. And you know, Madison is great at this because she's saying we have to start somewhere again.
Mm-hmm.
We have to pick ourselves up. And even Troy, you know, he almost killed Travis. He almost killed Nick. He almost killed Luciana. He wanted Luciana to be left out of the reservation to die. He has turned around per se, you know, to become more, you know, almost like, okay, I'm not going to try to kill people anymore for now. You know,
so yeah, him and Nick had that little moment there.
Yep.
And a little bit understanding, and you know, to me, that was them acknowledging that who they actually are is now appropriate for the world. Beforehand, they had to hide it; they're ashamed of it. But now, you know, who they are fits, and kind of like a mutual laugh, you know, tussle between each other there.
Yeah, and I think that Troy finally got over trying to kill Nick when Nick, you know, upended him and showed him, hey, look, man, I was part of the streets and I was a drug addict. I can identify a bad situation. In fact, he knew that, you know, the drug dealer in episode 1 was going to kill him before it happened. He had that keen sense, and he used that again here with Troy. I know what I'm walking into here. I know a bad situation, guys. You can't pull one over on me. And then when he ripped up the journal and they're wrestling on the floor, you know, having a little wrestling match, I guess, in the apocalypse, they had this epiphany together that, hey, okay, we could be friends because we're both fucked up.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
all right. You're just as fucked up as me, man. Oh, yeah, I am. Yeah, okay. And, you know, the relationship with Madison and Troy is, you know, Madison spoke upon it. Your mother treated you like shit. Yeah. You know, so he sees her as this motherly figure. It's almost a sexual type of thing, too. He's attracted to her in a matriarchal way, but he's also attracted to her, you know, sexually. You could see that. And something about her challenges him to the point he wants to kill her because he doesn't know what to do, but he can't kill her. She can talk him down. She can say, okay, this is not the right thing to do, and he backs away. It's this rabbit dog with, you know, what's the guy's name? The dog cure or whatever the hell his name is, Caesar.
Caesar
the dog.
Yeah.
It's almost like he wants to maul her, but she's doing this stupid shit, and he backs her. You know, so
yeah, you can start to see how the main characters kind of dig their claws into, you know, the main family over here, the Idol family.
Yes.
You know, and I'm curious to see if that was planned or if it was just kind of spontaneous. That's just the way they just kind of went.
I honestly think that these characters are following Madison's lead. I think that Alicia is getting close to Jake because she wants to feel something, but she's also getting close to Jake because she understands the rules of the world now. Mm-hmm. I think that she's looking at it, and she got close to the pirate, you know, and she got screwed over. She got close to, you know, other people and other communities, she gets screwed over. You know, so it's like she's numb to this, and she understands that they have to get into the people in the community's good graces. And, Nicholas is learning from Jeremiah. He still doesn't trust him. They showed a preview of them having a little skirmish there. And obviously Madison's intentions are to take that place over. So I think that they're methodically, feeling out their opposition and getting in their good graces. And then we're going to see a big conflict sooner than later, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I can't imagine, the Americans led by Walker, which is, they must have, I wonder why they chose that. That's kind of strange, but, see how they handle, I'm assuming they're going to make an attack on the reservation.
That was pretty nice that they, not nice, it was nice they didn't kill him, but it was, this, you know what? I like this show because they're not holding back with the gore. Walking Dead held back with the gore because of all the complaints. Fear the Walking Dead, I guess they just said, fuck it, people don't like this show anyways. We don't care if you complain. At least we know you're watching to complain. So they're pulling out all stops. They got a crow eating somebody's brain. They got sores on their feet. They got people ripped apart. They had a great Walker fight where Troy is, severing limbs left and right with a machete, and it was intense. It was glorified. I loved it because it's like they're not holding back because they don't care. Hey, look, you want to complain about the show? Wow. Well, we know for you to complain, you got to watch it.
Madison's got to have a screw. So whenever she has the opportunity to take a slow kill, she'll take her time.
Yeah,
she definitely. Poor guy with the knife to the head.
Definitely has screw loose. Definitely.
The baton to the zombie's eyes. It's like.
Definitely has a screw loose. And I think that they're gonna touch upon that because she's from the South. As much as they keep saying there's no connection between the two shows, they're doing all this for a reason. Before we even forget about them, Strand and Salazar in this episode, another great thing here. Salazar is being conned by a con artist, but Strand is also being conned. Salazar needs Strand to get to his daughter. Strand needs Salazar to get back to he needs a warrior, he needs a soldier, so he can get back to the hotel and probably take his rightfully place, as a leader there. So they're both kind of using each other, for the purpose of getting back to this hotel. And, Salazar wants his family. Strand wants the hotel. When they get, on their journey, they have a couple of, conflicts there. But when they get to the hotel, it's overran. And Salazar basically says, hey, look, you screwed me over. My daughter's not here. I'm leaving. Yeah. Takes his car and leaves Strand to fend for himself against a herd of walkers. Obviously, Strand is going to die. Obviously, Salazar is going to still go after his daughter. And we still don't know where Ophelia is. And that's a big thing on Talking Dead is they got this where is Ophelia thing.
It would surprise me if she's captured at the reservation.
For like an old Sophia type of thing?
Yeah, maybe not dead. Maybe they're, because I have to rewatch the episode, but I feel like it was a father that found her by the tree,
Yeah.
I have to check out the voice again or see if there's any kind of tie in there. But she's captured by somebody, and I'd hate for another group to come into play.
Well, I think that they're going to introduce that group from The Passage. I think that she's going to run into those people. That's my opinion. That's my guess. The webisode, The Passage, that they played last season.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think that she may be running into those people. I don't think that they would just give you that webisode and not introduce those characters because they gave you the Flight 100 episode and those characters did show up in the Fear the Walking Dead world. So I would expect that she's going to run into those people. Maybe those people ran into another group. Maybe that group is related to what's going on in the show right now. We don't know, and that's a big question. Where is Ophelia? Salazar is going to find out where she is, and Strand is going to have to find out how to fight a herd of walkers because his ass is grass right now. He's in trouble.
He's going to run. Eventually the group has to come back to each other.
They do. They do. And not necessarily because Chris never got back to the group. You know, they're not afraid, and Travis never got back to, you know, they're not afraid to split you up and kill you in this world for some reason.
It's true.
They don't care. So, yeah, Strand could be Walker.
Deaths. Like, how do you die? Hey,
Yeah.
car
He just,
accident.
yeah. So, you know, it's kind of, it's very interesting. The next episode is called Red Dirt. Should explore more of the reservation here. We're winding out to the mid-season finale, and then we're going to take a break from the show. But I'm looking forward. It's blasphemy for saying this, but I'm enjoying this first half of the season. Other than the Walking Dead season premiere, I am enjoying these episodes more than I did season 7 of The Walking Dead, because they just seem more complete. Outside of the season premiere for the first half of season 7, I challenge people to give me episodes that were actually better than the first 5 episodes we've seen so far. You know, I give you the premiere. None of these episodes, even 100, and Easter egg here is Salazar said he killed 96 people, and then at the end of the episode he had killed 4 more to make 100. So that was the clue for 100. If people didn't know what that was. He said he killed 96 people. The episode's title is 100. He killed 4 people, Dante and 3 of his men. So there goes the 100. That was an Easter egg I told people I would give it to him. But I challenge people to look at Walking Dead and pick, you know, the first 5 episodes. Pick, other than the season premiere, pick 4 episodes that were better than the next 4 episodes in Fear the Walking Dead so far. And it's going to be hard, and that's incredible. This show has gone from the baby sister to, you know, formidable opponent, kind of, you know?
Yeah, and I think the characters are finding themselves. I think Strand is awesome. I love that character. Daniel, obviously, is a stud.
Daniel is equal to Daryl Dixon to me. Those 2 characters are very similar. Go ahead, Jay.
Even Madison, she's finding her way. I think she's going to start putting on the badass pants, you know.
Yep.
Nick, obviously, I love Nick. He's kind of dropped down, I think a couple pegs, a little bit there.
I agree. Nick is the Glenn.
Yeah. Kind of goes ups and downs, but now he's gotten this family starter up kick. I wonder if his mom's like, Nick, why are you starting a new house here? I had a home for you this entire time. What the hell is your problem, man? You know?
Yeah.
But she called him out on his bullshit. It's like, if you leave, we're not coming for you. This is it.
You
know?
Yeah.
So I'm glad he stayed. At least, you know, she's going through the child drama stuff, but so far it's not the irritating child drama, you know what I mean? She's not just wandering off into the woods by herself, or, you know.
Well, she's equivalent to Carl. She has to be considered like a Carl type character here. She has to. Because she's made a lot of childish mistakes, like you said, and now she's starting to feel herself out here. The only difference between her and Carl is she's actually sleeping with people. Yeah. She's having romantic affairs. I think Nick is like a Glenn. I think Strand, you know, he's not a villain, but I see Strand as being, you know, one of those, you know, maybe not a Merle character.
Yeah, he's loyal to himself.
He is, yeah. He's actually his own character. But I definitely see Salazar as being a fan favorite like Daryl Dixon. I think that, come on, you know.
Maybe
he might
after the fire, they're like, we have to bring him back, you know.
Yep.
We got to bring him back.
We got to.
Maybe they're like, let's leave this open just in case. But, yeah, we need to bring him back.
Yeah. He actually might be a mix between Daryl Dixon and my favorite character, Morgan. He's kind of got those. He's kind of got a little bit of both worlds there, and you know, he's one of the He's becoming a fan favorite. You know, they pretended that he was killed off. They let him go for you know, a half of the season, and all of a sudden they bring him back from the fire, just like Morgan. He set a fire in his house and clear, and all of a sudden he comes back and he's this righteous warrior. It's close, you know, it's close to Salazar's story a little bit here. You know, and he just, I like him. I like Strand. Nick, Nicholas, and Salazar are my 3 favorites. Madison, Alicia, they got to grow on me a little bit more, but
yeah. I think they're on the upswing from the first season.
Definitely Madison. Madison is definitely on it, because she's a badass. They killed Travis just when he was getting good. I mean, that's
right.
He's a fucking beast, and they just killed him off. Way to go, guys.
Yeah. I still think, like I said, you should have gotten torn apart by the walkers, something like that.
He should have, instead of falling out of a helicopter. Or, like even falling to his death, maybe showing that, and maybe him not dying completely, and just walkers come and tear him apart anyways. Like, you got to give him a significant death other than falling out of a helicopter. Come on.
Oh, yeah, though, I don't... I could see it being ran off. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just really hasn't gotten good pushes at all. So
I like Ophelia. I like her character. I always tell you, people get recycled in the zombie genre for some reason. Mercedes Mason was in 2 zombie movies. I know one of them was Quarantine 2, Terminal, and she was the flight attendant there. And I know she was in another zombie movie, but I think they get recycled in these zombie movies and shows. But I really like her, as an actress, and they, like you said, they just haven't pushed her, and it's just like, why?
Yeah, she's always been like the pawn, she's been like the background or the catalyst, but nothing like the main piece or the main story.
Correct. Why
aren't you pushing? She just walked away. Oh, all right.
It is what it is, man, but very impressed so far with the season. Want to personally apologize to some of our viewers that watch our show. Yes, we are on YouTube. The first 2 episodes were on YouTube. Check us out. The views were down. I don't think that you guys knew our schedule changed to Wednesdays. We're actually going to talk to Jay now that Better Call Saul is over. We may go back to Mondays. It's going to be up to really, we're going to look at it, because that may be a good day for us both. Not too much goes on in my world on Mondays. Definitely check us out on YouTube. Again, apologize. Things happen. We have technical issues. We're doing this impromptu. We don't have financing to this. This is strictly charity based. We're doing this, as a fun, thing. 2 friends, get together. We try to get together once a week or every other week, but we get together. We talk to you about these shows that we love. We know you love it. So, patience with us a little bit there. Again, apologizing for not being on more consistently. Remember, this was an added bonus for you guys. Our show is Dissecting the Walking Dead. We gave this to you as an extra. Please continue to watch us. We're going to try to give you the best product we can. Keep the questions coming to us. Had a couple of questions. I answered them within the show. Mm-hmm. If you do have questions, sorry, Jam, I'm hogging this right now. If you do have questions about The Walking Dead, we may do a show before The Walking Dead comes back on for those questions. Right now, we're going to focus on Fear. And again, we are deciding what the next top 5. A lot of people liked that last time. So we got a lot of different things. We're going to try to get a little bit more consistent first.
Yeah, that always helps.
Yeah, so that was just a little apology rant there for my, some of my coworkers getting on my case. So I'd rather you guys be upset that you don't see us on than be upset when we're on and want us to be off. So, but let us know what you think about the show. Let us know what you think about Fear the Walking Dead. Again, keep the questions coming about Walking Dead. I promise I will get to them. I always do. Mm-hmm. Top 5s, go on Facebook. I don't know if Jay has a poll. Jay will put another poll. There are several zombie games out there. This is for one viewer who watches and really likes zombie games and really played the Telltale games. And I actually finished Season 3, The Frontier, The New Frontier. That is an outstanding game for all you gamers out there and all you fans of the Telltale Walking Dead series. Get that game and play it start to finish. All the episodes are up. It's incredible, and it's a continuation of a great storyline for Clementine. Definitely, comic book readers, read the damn comics. You just read them.
Yeah, they're really good, obviously.
Yes. Especially where we're at now. But, thanks for being patient with us. I hogged a lot of this time. I'm going to let Jay give us his opinions on what he expects for the next 3 episodes. How about that, Jay? Where he expects this to go the next 3 episodes.
Yeah.
That was a question, and it's for you. This was to you.
I was looking at the IMDb, and it looks like there'll be one after this Sunday, and then there'll be a 2-parter on the 9th.
Yep.
So that's probably the mid-season finale there then.
Yep.
But where they're gonna go? There's got to be a conflict. It's either it's gonna be the Native Americans and the people, the Otto family over there, or it could be Madison, where she overthrows Otto family, and I'm not sure how that would work out. If she actually make peace with the Native Americans or not. I can't see them trying to strike up a deal with them either. Yep. They seem to want what's could be rightfully theirs, which can't hold it against them. They have quite a few guns now. They might be outnumbering them, outtrained. So that could be an uphill battle for them. This could be a prison situation here where there's going to get steamrolled.
Yes. Second part of this question, where do you think they're going with Strand and Salazar's storyline?
I don't know if it's over. I'm not sure if Salazar is going to wait for him or if he just says, you know what, he screwed me, he lied to me this entire time. Good luck. I can see him doing that. But, I mean, they have to cross paths again. I like to see them have more conversations together. That was a good, not like a buddy cop feel, because
they have a lot of good chemistry together, too, as actors.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
The personalities are almost polar,
Yes. All
so
right.
I'd be curious to see them back together. But I think Salazar just left him there, and he's like, I need to find Ophelia. But I'm not sure how he's going to be able to track her down.
Yeah, that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
As a dad having a daughter, I mean, you go against all odds, and you try to find a little breadcrumbs to get to your kid. I can understand where he's coming from. It's going to have to be a Jocelyn moment here where he finds his daughter, because there's a lot of land to cover. You don't know where this woman is. What are you going to do?
Gas has to be in short supply. But I mean, I don't blame for leaving Strand. I mean, imagine if some guy lied to you about like where your daughter is, and you go there.
I'd be pissed too.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like, oh, sorry.
And then especially seeing that the hotel was overran, the first thought in my head was she didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's going to be the thought in my head would say she didn't make it. The thought in my heart would say that she's somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So you have conflicting things within yourself. Last question for Jay. This is not Ophelia. This is, do you think the main characters will ever return to the sea, since the boat and the sea were such a big part of the show? Yeah, because remember, the pirates are still out there. We don't know what happened to them, Jay.
Yeah.
Look at this, throwing his ass in the fire tonight, everybody. Look at this.
I think so, because I mean, they have to backtrack all the way back down. I think they'll end up heading eastward.
Okay. Back to the States, back inside the States.
Yeah. So actually, they're on the state side now. There's right.
They are.
Border.
They're in America.
But I think that they'll head to different parts on land. The boat's probably stolen again. Wouldn't surprise me. That's what they were saying. They can't go back to the boat because it was probably taken.
Yep.
But that could just be them saying, let's just kind of wash our hands clean of the first 2 seasons and let's move forward.
Maybe.
You know, I was
Yeah.
like, hey, let's pretend that didn't happen. But
Maybe.
yeah, they're still out there.
Yeah. Pirates are out there, man,
Mhm.
and they're pretty pissed off. You know, the guy lost his brother. You know, they tricked him, and his brother was dead and bit him on the arm. So maybe they took his arm off. Um, we don't know. So those are three very good questions. There was a big question to me, especially for you, Jay, and put him in the fire a little bit, and gave the best answers. I agree with everything he said. I think that if they want to get away from that terrible ocean, you know, that terrible seaside story that they had, this is the perfect time to do it. Just say, screw it. Let the pirates take the boat and never see a boat again in the show. That would be perfect. Because that was terrible. Why the hell did they go out to sea in the first place?
Yeah, it's boring.
Nobody's scared of walkers in the water. Nobody. They don't even do anything. They just float and get stuck in boats. This is the stupidest storyline I've ever seen in my life. How scary is it when a walker's sitting there with his arm in a boat? It doesn't do anything. You just swim away from it.
Yep.
They don't swim.
Nope. They'll just bob around or they'll sink. I'm not sure what
You know,
the
they just
science
bob
is on
around
that,
and come up on land.
Yep.
They don't do anything.
Just kind of push them away. Get out.
Yeah.
Stop it.
They trick them and put them in the water and they float away somewhere else. Nothing happens. You know, pirates? Come on, man. The pirate storyline was awful. I'm so glad. I hope they never go back to that crap.
Yeah.
I hope they just stick to what they're doing now, have more conflict as they go further east, and eventually my hopes and goals for this is they somehow become the Whisperers. That is my hopes and goals for this whole show, and I will be, you know, this will make the show, this will just make the show complete, both shows, if they can become the Whisperer somehow. But that might be a pipe dream. So, it is what it is, man.
That'd be exciting. That would be one of the coolest things you'd ever see on TV.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, how could you not? Can you imagine this show ends with them hinting at something further, and The Walking Dead, one of the season finales, shows like Madison or Nicholas as, you know, taking off the Whisperers. Can you imagine that? Do you know how big that would be? I mean, how high the ratings would be for something like that? It will push the show. It will push the show into loss numbers, and I think I know they had an algorithm of it. If The Walking Dead was on, not on like an AMC primetime channel, but if it was on like a national channel, like a, you know, NBC, ABC,
Yeah.
They said the numbers would be almost double what they are for it being on AMC. So that would make it more popular than Lost. But the numbers speak for itself. Had more viewership because of the channel they were on. But if they did something like that where they tie Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead like that, I think the numbers would push. It doesn't matter if it was on AMC or HBO or anything. Those numbers will skyrocket because it'll be like, holy shit, now they combine these two shows like this? Unbelievable.
Yeah, it becomes must watch, you know.
Yeah.
It would become like, well, what leads into The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead? The previous episode of, you know, the respective shows. So it doesn't have like the Big Bang Theory, you know, leading into it, or shows that already has millions and millions of viewers. So.
Oh my God. I mean, just take your favorite, take a show that's split in half. I mean, not even like you just have two different shows and two different characters that you grow to love in those two different shows, but they're the same entity, like a Law and Order type of thing, or, you know, you have other shows that have, spin-offs. You know, Better
Call Saul and Breaking Bad
and
at the same time, and then all of a sudden see them come together, be like, what?
What? It would be mind fucking blown.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
so it's like,
as a lawyer, I wonder who. What? Saul? No way. I love that guy.
Unbelievable. And that's when you take the next step and you combine those two audiences, because Fear the Walking Dead is actually, it's a recycled audience from Walking Dead, but it's also pulling in its own viewers as well, because it's different. It's you know, a lot of people who watch this are watching it because they never read the comics. This is for them. So now, I mean, if you can, it would be unbelievable. But it's for another day, man. We're gonna get into all this stuff. We're gonna try to be more consistent. Thank you, Jay, for the great answers and letting me word bomb it a little bit there. But stay tuned next week. Jay and I will talk about the schedule. He'll post it, and right now we're gonna do so you got 6 and 7 coming up. Maybe next week we'll do 6, and since 7 and 8, we'll just knock them out back-to-back weeks instead of skipping a week. Because, like you said, I think they're going to combine 7 and 8. So we might as well knock them out, 7 and 8, and then 6. So back-to-back weeks. We'll be back normal time. We're just going to discuss if it's Monday or Wednesday for you guys, and we'll see you. We'll surprise you.
Yeah. So follow us on Facebook. I'll update that.
Yep.
Or Twitter. I'll shoot that out there to everybody. What our schedule is going to be like for this coming month. Or subscribe to us on YouTube. So if you guys are missing our videos up on there, subscribe and you'll get an alert saying that we have a new video, or a little message saying that there's one new video for us over there.
Yep.
That helps us out as well too, because then we'll get more algorithms will hit us more, so we'll get more viewers over there, which means more money, which means more donations to charity. So
Yep.
you guys help out and help yourself out to keep up to date with our videos.
There you go. Good to be back, Jay.
Yeah, right, man. Missed you.
Yeah, man. It's getting hot up here in Albany, and then it rains,
Yeah.
and then it gets hot again, and then the mosquitoes come out, and it's pollen everywhere, and everybody's allergies and getting bit and killed by these goddamn killer mosquito things, and then all of a sudden it rains.
Right.
It's all weather is all crazy up here, man. It doesn't know what the hell it wants to do. Before you know it, it'll be freaking fall.
Pretty soon, right? Summer, they're already on the downswing. So
8 days into summer, it's almost fall.
It's New York for you.
Yeah. All
All right,
right,
man. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Keep up the questions and any comments you guys have. We'll keep up with you guys as far as schedule. When's our next video? When's the next top 5? What we got going on with the channel?
Yep.
James, you have anything else?
That's it. Like I said, I always support Jay. Go to echo5studios.com. For everybody that I know, a lot of support. They do check out the D&D. They had a new camera, multiple camera angle thing, I heard. I didn't get a chance to check it out, but I am now because I heard that they're using multiple cameras. Is that correct, Jay? You're using different camera shots now on D&D, or multiple camera setups?
So basically, we just put up a tutorial as far as if people want to mimic our D&D setup, they can. We recommend different products that they can use.
Okay.
Links to the Amazon. It gets a good, authentic, high production feel, but for lower cost.
Okay.
So,
and
it
and
shows
then,
like Critical Role. If anybody watches D&D, they're one of the biggest ones around right now. They'll have a similar setup, but of course their cameras are worth much more than ours, and their setup is much more elaborate. But you can get the same kind of feel for it, on an amateur level.
Okay. And that, okay, so I hope that answered my buddy's question there. And then, is there going to be another beer and a board game? Was another question, because they watched the Camp Grizzly one. Will there be another episode?
Yes. One of my buddy who plays Brar in the D&D, the Gabe, what we've been talking about, what we want to do. What I'll try to do is incorporate the different people around here and bring them on, so that way it's not just me sitting there talking to it. They can bring in like their chosen beer and their chosen board game.
Okay.
Keeps it kind of unique and keeps the flavor a little bit different.
There you go. All right, see, making plugs for the other content on this incredible website that Jay has developed. Please support them. Support us. You may think that this show may not like Fear the Walking Dead too much, but you may like board games and you may be entertained by D&D. It's good times. I've watched several episodes, or I've listened to several episodes at work. Gets me through the damn day. So, and I always pretend that I'm playing the game as well and wrecking shit. because I think that they will kick me out of that. He's not going to tell you. Jay's not going to tell you the truth because he's my friend. He doesn't want to hurt my feelings. But I think that Jay would kick me off of the team because I would screw it up. Do something stupid or be too aggressive or go my own way and not listen and steal stuff from other people and monsters and stuff like that. Like, just be completely rogue and ruin the shit. I think that he wouldn't let me play again. So, you know, I always imagine it a little bit, you know. So definitely check it out. Pass the time at work with us, man, and then join us live. Watch it on YouTube at home. Thanks so much, guys, for watching, and we will be back.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
Have a good night.